Hi everyone, Tim Farrell here again, and we're on day 3 of our video series talking about the elements of design. And the elements of design, again, just for a recap, are the 8 things that every design has to have in it and to be addressed correctly to be a really good composition. So those things are line, form, space, color, pattern, texture, size, and fragrance. And for day 3, we're going to talk about the element of space. Space for us is really the use of space in the design and how that can be effective. And this one is a little bit more complicated for beginning designers to start to understand, but the more you actually work with materials, the more you do this, the more it makes sense to you, and you'll get the idea of space. But space really is the resulting area from the placement of flowers. So designers start to make some decisions as far as how they want to use space in the design. And on a very simple level, a very low, compact design with lots of flowers and a small amount of space is a conscious decision for the designer to use very or maybe no space between all those floral materials that are in the design so that it becomes very compact and very lush. But it's that consistent use of a little bit of space in the design that makes it effective. So that's a skill that we can very easily achieve and do that in design. Using space in a different way and having space actually be a very important part of the design is a little bit more skillful and takes a little bit more practice. And to do this, what we're doing is we're implying a term called negative space to the design, where we actually create little windows or pockets in the design where the space becomes just as important in the design as any other of the floral materials that we put into that design as well. So we may have, a crossing of stems that creates maybe a triangle of window, and that area may frame out a flower that sits behind it. So it's actually the space that's drawing attention to a specific flower because of the way it's framed out in that design. Or we may create maybe a low design that has, vertical placements in it, one on this side and one on this side with nothing in between. And it's that space in between that becomes very effective in that arrangement, and the placement of flowers on either side almost embrace that space or make like a sense of parentheses in that space. What that usually does is it will draw your attention to what's down below because your eye kind of goes in the middle, falls to nothing, and then drops down. And then your attention is given to maybe what we would create a focal area in that design down at the low basing area of that arrangement. So there are just 2 concepts, again, just to begin exploring space in a design. So again, for those that are beginning, I challenge you to get out and get some flowers and start to use these elements and principles of design. For my fellow florists that have been doing this a long time, maybe some as long as I have as well, I challenge you to re-look at the element of space in your design and see ways that you can maybe incorporate space into those designs to really achieve some beautiful and aesthetic floral designs for your customers. So that's all for today. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow with day 4 of our series. And again, make some comments, post them below, talk about space in design, maybe show a picture of what you have done that shows space in design. And we're really hoping that this starts some conversation among some floral designers about space and how we use that in our designs. So that's all for today. Thanks so much for joining us, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow.